Hey everybody, happy Saturday. This is actually just went back to school and slash work on Thursday, and so this is my first weekend day, and I tell you, Thursday and Friday felt like the absolute longest days of my life. I've been sick since the Thursday after Christmas. I got whatever was ailing my grandmother, I feel like, maybe bronchitis. I've been very coughing and run down and really just not feeling fantastic, so I've come home from work the last 2 days and just fallen asleep on the couch. But I wanted to take today and respond to Alyssa's childhood tag. And I guess I'm not really tagging anybody unless our friend Katie is watching, and she is welcome to respond to this and do it. I wish she would, because she keeps talking about how she would like to vlog. In the spirit of our favorite childhood things, I'm actually wearing this sweatshirt. Actually it's the second one. As you can see, it's full of holes. My cousin Joe went to Emory and Henry College in Virginia, and for Christmas, the first year she went, I got a sweatshirt that I wore until it literally shredded to pieces and I couldn't wear it anymore. It fell off my body. And then this was the replacement, and it's getting to be in about the same condition. But it's my favorite article of clothing that I still get out and wear, even though I probably should throw it away. But in response to Alyssa's questions, I have them all written down so I can hopefully read them. Your favorite childhood memory. I have two, actually. One that doesn't really involve me that much, but is my favorite memory from when I was a kid. My older cousin Ryan is 5 years older than me, and he, when we were little, he was always just so tough and so brave, and I can remember just idolizing him and his two older sisters as well. They were my favorite people in the whole world. But I remember one time he used to just always be, like I said, so brave and such bravado about everything. And one time we were outside playing and it was almost dark, and this huge bat, which probably wasn't that big, but it seems, now in my memory, it seems like it was gigantic, like pterodactyl size, but this huge bat lands on the concrete out where we were playing, and he flipped out and started screaming and yelling and ran in their garage and slammed the door shut and just had a complete nervy bee over it. And I just remember that being so hilarious to me, because he was always so like I said, so tough and could just do anything, and then to see him just that was hilarious. And then another memory that's not very clear but I distinctly remember is I got chicken pox. I was 4 when I had chicken pox, and all my cousins had it. Missy, Joe, and Ryan, my older cousins, had it too. And I can just remember, I wasn't very sick. I didn't get very bad chicken pox. I had 10 spots on my whole body. So I wasn't even really ill or cranky or any of those things that normally happen. But I got to spend, because we couldn't be around anybody else, the 4 of us were just kind of sequestered in my aunt's house. Because my younger brother, we didn't want him to get it. And I can just remember playing downstairs with them, and I thought I was so cool because I got to hang out with them. And then my favorite childhood memory that I don't remember is basically anything to do with my cousins. When I was very, very young, my older cousins, they had a pool, and we would go out there and play an above ground pool. And I can remember one time my cousin Ryan was, like I said, 5 years older than me, quite a lot bigger than I was. I've always been really short. And he put arm floaties on his feet and jumped in the pool. And then he went inside to get us drinks, and I know that's completely unsafe for a 4-year-old to be unsupervised, but it was just seriously one of those things. He wasn't even inside really. He got out of the pool and got down to get a toy or something. My aunt and my mom were inside, and I put them on my feet and jumped in the pool too. Couldn't touch the bottom. He had to jump in and save me, and so that's a funny memory that I have. Another one is that when I was really young, like I said, I spent tons of time with my older cousins, and people used to ask me my name, and I would tell them my name was Rochelle Thompson Shanley, which is my middle name, Brewer, which is my aunt and uncle's last name. So I gave myself this huge hybrid name to attach myself even more securely to that family. And then, there's so many I have written down, but there's also really embarrassing story that I have. When I first learned how to talk, I was really young, and my aunt would walk with me. We live in the country, and she would walk with me and point at things and say oh, what's that? A bird. What's that? A tree. You know, that kind of thing. And so the first thing I ever said is, what's that? and then they would answer my question and I would parrot back to them. And so the story goes that one time I was in the grocery store, I was in a buggy with my aunt Anita. We were at the produce station, and an elderly African-American man came up to her and was talking to me because, you know, people talk to babies all the time. And they were like, oh, what a cute little girl. Oh, she's so sweet. And, you know, my aunt was like, oh, say hi, Rochelle, you know, da-da-da-da. And instead what I did was I looked at him, and then I looked at my aunt and was like, what's that? In response to this elderly man. And my aunt was mortified and refused to be near me anymore for that grocery session. So that's the end of the memories. My favorite candy, I don't really remember eating a lot of candy from my childhood necessarily, but I do remember eating giant sweet tarts and thinking they were just like the best candy since sliced bread, and I loved them. Favorite movie or TV show? When I was really young, I loved the Care Bears, and I used to watch, I had like all of those home video VHS movies, with like the Care Bears and the Care Bear Cousins and all of those, and I used to watch them non-stop. And then as far as TV goes, I loved TGIF on ABC, like old school with like Family Matters and Full House. But I also loved this show, Perfect Strangers, when I was little. And actually, it's on Netflix now, the discs. The first 2 seasons, you can get the discs on Netflix. And they've been in my DVD queue on Netflix forever because I want to watch it again. My favorite game when I was a child, again, I don't necessarily remember playing a ton of games, but we had the above ground pool, and we would always, like in the summertime, we just spent basically all day, every day in the pool. And I remember with my cousins, we would play games like Shark, where, you know, one person is it, and they're at one end of the pool, and everyone starts halfway, and they have to go. It's just like a kind of tag game. They have to run, like, swim as fast as they can to get out. And then we would play, like, Marco Polo, and we would make a whirlpool. We used to, like, I can remember just spending hours in the pool walking or swimming in circles trying to create a whirlpool effect in our pool, and we were so ecstatic when we made that happen. So, those were my favorite games. And then, my favorite thing to do when I was a kid, honestly, I loved just being with my cousins. It was such a trip for me. Like, they're 9, 7, and 5 years older than me. And even now, like, when I do things with them, I still feel like such a little kid whose super cool family members would do stuff with them. And that's kind of how, that's one reason I spend so much time with my younger cousins, because the time I spent with my older cousins was so, like, where I live, there aren't kids our age, we just have family members. You know, until you go to school, you don't have a lot of friends that are outside of your family, because we don't have, people our age didn't live up here. So that's all I have. But also, my uncle, my mom's young brother, her only brother, but it's also the youngest in her sibling group, he used to take me to the library all the time. And he had this old car, it's called Christine, I think it's a Nova. It's just like the car in the movie Christine. And we would get in it, and he used to, like, play, like, old school 80s Madonna because he loved her. And we would, like, go to the library. And it was just, like, the most fun thing that I could remember doing. And then, like, my favorite grade, honestly, my favorite grade in school was junior year of high school, which isn't really a kid thing. But I just remember, like, thinking back, if I could relive any year of my life, that's probably the year I would pick. Things were really great with my friend group. I had a lot going on, I was doing really well academically. I was in show choir. All my friends were together. There wasn't a lot of drama, and it was just a really fantastic year. So that's my favorite. Okay, favorite childhood photo. Sorry. My absolute favorite photo is this one. This is me and my dad. I'm probably not even a year old, and for some reason he thought it was a good idea to let me just like mainline Dr. Pepper out of a 2-liter bottle. Alyssa asked me earlier why he was dressed like a biker. He's just wearing blue jeans and a black belt, so I don't know if that's necessarily biker attire, but she also wanted to know why he was giving me beer. And as you can clearly see, like, that is a Dr. Pepper bottle. So my dad did not give me beer as a 1-year-old. But I also have a couple others. A few years ago, before all of the family drama, I made my mom these collages of me, and that's me. And then I made one of, that's gonna fall, of my brother, which features a lot more Rochelle and Shane pictures because when you have 2 babies. But this picture of me and Shane in our sunglasses, I love it. It's super cute. And then in this one, there is this picture of me. I'm sitting in a field, and I've been and got my face painted, and I just love it because I think it's super cute. And then there's just like this like series of Rochelle sleeping. Like there are all these pictures of me. Like there I'm just barely awake. And then another picture of me and my brother, which I love. I think is so fun. So we both look so happy and like we like each other, and that hasn't happened very recently since we graduated high school. And then my favorite meal when I was really young, when my dad's parents were still alive and my mom's grandmother was alive, we would every other Sunday go to someone's house. And so on the Sundays when we went to my dad's parents' house, my grandmother used to make this dish called cream macaroni, which by all odds should be disgusting. It's like elbow macaroni with butter and milk. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that I guess they just made out of necessity. Like you have pasta and you have some milk and so you want to make something, but it's my favorite food ever. And then the other thing is that my great-grandmother used to make this like Depression era spaghetti stuff, which was hamburger and onions cooked together and then tomato juice poured on it and spaghetti noodles put in it. And we still have that too, but those were my favorite things I can remember that I still eat now that I ate when I was a kid. And then your favorite thing about being a kid, kind of like Alissa, just like the innocence that you have when you're a kid and like the relationship that I had with my cousins and my family then, they're still really strong now, but you know, when you are grown up and you have your own families and you have your own like job and your own responsibilities, the time that you have to just get together and act like complete idiots are few and far between. And so, now those times mean a lot to me, and I make it an effort to cherish those times and take advantage of them whenever I can. But I wish when I was younger that I had realized how important those times would be. But it was just like that innocence that you had where you didn't know that things could be bad and you didn't know that things could go wrong and you didn't know that the world could be a bad place sometimes. Like I miss that about childhood too. So, like I said, if you guys want to respond, I'm gonna, like, probably you can video respond to this one, or video response to Alyssa's that she made last week. And I'm gonna try to type up the questions and put them in the doobly-doo so you guys can read those. But I hope you're having a great weekend. I've been pretty uneventful. I dyed my hair dark. It's still kind of wet, so it looks super, super black, like Snow Whitey black. But I dyed my hair dark. New year, new hair. That's my genuine, like my general, not genuine. It's my general motto when it comes to January of any year. I change my hair in some way. This year I went pretty dark. I like my dark hair, so I'm digging it. If you guys made any kind, I'm hoping to make a video later in the week as far as like resolutions and goals I have for 2012. So look forward to that and hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye!